Hello, 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 and welcome to a brand new episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. As always, I am your host, Sule, and today I am with Nicole Mitchell. Nicole is the lead processor at Uncovering Greatness, and what she helps you do is she helps you find out what you want, she helps you get it. I think more importantly, she helps you get out of your own way. Like, how many people are in their own way?
Well, good morning, Zuli, and good
Good
morning
morning.
to our listeners. Hello, it is great to be with you. And yeah, it is. It's about getting yourself out of your own way because a lot of people, we know what we need to do, but we just don't want to do it. Or, why are you laughing like that? It's true. I mean, you want to lose weight, so
It's very no.
you know what you need to do. But the problem is, it's not the food. It's not that I know I need to eat less carbs or I need to exercise more. We know what we need to do. There's enough information out there.
I just didn't think we were going to start with that much truth.
Oh, okay.
It's just straight
But
into it.
that is the thing is we know what we need to do.
Yeah.
We can research it. We can find out. But most of us don't want to actually do it.
Yeah, no, you can have all the research in the world, and then it's like, yeah, I know about it. I know how to lose weight.
So I'll use the example of Barry. For those of you who don't know, check out the podcast. He recently did an Ironman.
Yes.
And when he started, he decided he was going to get a program off of the internet, which was great. He got a program off the internet. And after a couple of weeks, he's like, no, I need to get a coach.
Yeah.
And off he went and found himself a coach. And one of the things that he had to do was come in from a cycle and then change and go out for a run.
Okay.
And practice the transition between, so his legs could feel the difference between cycling and running.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so cool, like that your coach is getting you to do that. That's not on your online program. And he looks at me and goes, yeah, it is. I just didn't want to do it. And it's such a great example because when somebody is holding you accountable, you are more likely to do it versus a piece of paper that you read and go, I don't know if I feel like doing that today. Okay. And
You're not going to hold me accountable. You're a piece of paper.
a piece of paper, and it's just like, well, I don't feel like doing, I've had a really bad day today. And, what happens is our emotion gets in the way and stops us from doing the things that we know we should. And so, it's recognizing what's happening and being aware of that. So, in Barry's case, he was very aware that he wasn't following the instructions on the piece of paper or the computer. So he was like, I need to get a coach who's going to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
And force me to do things like rest days and eat properly and all those kind of things. So, somebody that has the knowledge to help me look at where I'm maybe lacking. Let's put it that way.
So you mentioned emotions, your favorite topic in the world. And today we're talking emotions in the workplace.
Emotions in the workplace. There's none of that.
You cannot have that in the workplace. You must be professional.
What did one of our delegates say? There is no place for emotion in business. He soon learned that was not the truth.
The thing is, he was saying that emotionally.
Correct. It was said with a lot of emotion. Yeah.
You know what? So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is it's twofold. One is we had a very emotional meeting yesterday, team meeting, as we do every Monday. And sometimes I think that when people think about emotions, they think there's crying and, oh my, it's I don't want to use this word, but I have to. It's dramatic, right? Whereas most times it's actually not that. Because if I was looking at yesterday, for example, the emotion was a lot more reserved or suppressed, if that's the right word.
Correct.
And that just, it went beautifully, right? When you suppress your emotions, things go really well.
So, in the instance of yesterday, pretty much what happened is everyone saw the and
That was it.
that was it.
Yep.
And, in terms of what's going on, nothing. Like, what's happening? No, it's not me. It's, I'd rather not say.
I'm fine.
And you're going, something's definitely going on there. Yeah, but I'd rather not say.
Yeah.
It's not my place to say.
Big one. Happens a lot in teams, actually.
And that's where it is. It's just understanding. Yeah, I think the biggest thing with emotion is, are you even aware that at times is you? Because a lot of people go, no, I don't have everybody else in this business is so flippin' emotional and, intense and this and that. And most of the time, you're that too.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it's actually not even through words, right? You don't even have to say anything for people to know that you are emotionally charged right now. And I feel like that's way more powerful. Because if I think about yesterday's meeting, before the words were said of what the issue was, it was way worse. That was bad. I was sitting next to her. I felt that.
And, it's just understanding you may think that you are hiding your emotions well, but trust me, everybody can see your emotions. They are written all over you. And you're going, no, I'm fine. Everything's amazing and wonderful. But no, everyone can see it.
Yeah. I mean, this stat, I think, was really good because I kind of attributed to the way you handled the emotional situation, right? And it says managers influence 70% of an employee's emotional experience at work.
Okay. Managers influence 70% of an employee's emotional experience at work.
Yeah.
That would be fair. And I guess the biggest thing about emotion is, especially in the workplace and what we've seen over years of training people, and most of the time, the workplace is not a safe space to express how you feel. So a manager will come in and scream and yell, and then the employee will shut down, suppress themselves, withdraw. They don't want to say anything, or they won't say anything to the manager because they don't feel safe.
Yeah.
But behind the manager's back, they'll go and find somebody to go into agreement with. He's in a really shitty mood today, and then they find other people to go into agreement with that it's okay for me to be pissed off with that person.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, I don't even think managers, and we can say managers, but I mean coaches, leaders, teachers, trainers, anybody that has a position of influence or power or leadership, they have an effect on people. So, I mean, we had the G20 recently, or last, a few days ago. And how many people were influenced by the government?
A lot.
And I just look and I go, from people going through the airport, like Barry said it, suddenly the airport was super efficient. Like Barry said, it was the shortest, like all the security things were open, all the machines were open, there were people at every station, and it was boom, 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 and it's, international flight, and he was 15 minutes through.
That's crazy. That never happens.
Coming off, like, and suddenly people are, so it can be influenced in a positive or a negative. I mean, you drive around and there's police on every corner. Like,
There's a lot of police.
and suddenly people's emotions are going up because they're like, this is ridiculous. You know, you drive down this highway and no one from the G20 is going down this highway. So check all the litter on the side, the grass isn't cut. This is ridiculous. And then you drive down the other highway and they've put flipping birds and giraffes and
There's vases. Have you seen this? These giant vases.
I haven't seen the vases. I've seen the zebra and giraffe and the birds
I haven't seen it.
at Galoonis. And it's just like, why is it that the government can do that when international people come to town who don't even live here? They just come to see, and the people that live here every day don't get treated like that.
No.
I mean, if the police were out in full force like they have been in the last week, the crime rate would drop significantly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's been way less accidents on the road, and I'm open to correction, but that I've seen.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. With all the rain, generally you drive. With all the rain we have, you can guarantee you're going to see an accident on the highway.
Easily.
And like, I think I've seen one in the last sort of 5 days.
Oh, that's crazy. Usually you'll see like 3 in a week with the rain.
With the rain.
Yeah.
And it's understanding that people are being influenced emotionally because they're driving down the highway and they're going, check this, there's litter on the side of the road. Our government, why can't they, do this? Why can't they clean it up normally?
Yeah.
Like, does the G20 have to come to town for them
you
to
to fix
clean
things.
things or fix things up or what have you? And it's just understanding that leaders and people in power have this effect of affecting other people's moods. And most of the time they don't even realize it.
Their moods and their emotions and...
But they don't even realize that they're having an impact on people. So managers, 70%, influence an employee's emotional experience at work. And I bet you most people will go, I don't understand why they're in such a bad mood all the time. Like, they're always so miserable. What's the problem?
Yeah, because you have no clue around what's actually going on. And I think, what the interesting thing about this is that this is not also a doom and gloom podcast.
No.
There's a very specific reason why I use that stat first. Because I feel like, yes, naturally people will go towards the negative side of it, right? So you influence your team negatively. But the way you did it, it shifted the whole mood of the meeting. Because you didn't... I want to say that you kept at it. You didn't just let it be what it was. You didn't just allow for it to be, I'm fine, or nothing's wrong, or it's okay. But you could visibly see the emotions.
Correct. And I mean, we were having our weekly meeting, and it was just, the mood level was like in the toilet. It was like you could just feel the tension in the...
Yeah.
And it was like, and nobody's saying anything, and I'm asking questions, and I'm like, can somebody please answer me? And everybody was like, dead quiet. Okay, guys, the rest of the day, the rest of the week is going to be so unproductive, because if we leave here in this mood level, everybody is going to be affected, and therefore your productivity, your ability to do work, you're going to want to leave the office.
Yep.
The first sign of lunch, everybody's going to bombshell. And it's like, no, what is going on? And just to be able to pull the emotion and find out exactly what was going on, suddenly, as soon as what was there was actually said, it was like, boom, and the whole meeting shifted. And everybody's mood level shifted, and suddenly people were in a space where they could learn rather than a space where they were going, this sucks, I just want to get out of here.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
No, not at all.
I was ready to be done with that meeting. I got stuff to do, guys.
Like, I am busy. Do you not know? You're wasting my time.
I got emotional because my time was valuable this week specifically.
And that's the thing, is that if we had let it go and everyone had walked out of here in that low, unproductive, frustrated, annoyed, irritated mood, nobody would have been productive the whole week. And yet this is a big week for us because we've got a lot of events happening this week, and we need everybody to be productive this week in order to serve our clients effectively. And so it's understanding that, you know, sometimes you've got to address the hard things. But if you suppress your emotion, it's going to shoot stress levels up, your productivity is going to go down, all sorts of things. And it's important for people to understand this doesn't just happen with doom and gloom. It happens the other way too. If everyone gets on this high and we're all laughing and telling jokes and blah, 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 and we're all having fun, well, how productive are you when you're standing around telling jokes and nobody's doing anything, and we're having drinks and we're having fun and we're laughing and talking and we're chit-chatting and everyone's mood level's high.
You don't do anything.
But nobody's doing anything. Yeah. So it's understanding that, yes, a manager's mood level can influence that too, but are you focused on results in a positive way, or are you focused on, you know, everybody's mood level, or what are you focused on? And so for me, it was like, we need to be productive this week.
Yeah.
Let's shift the mood level.
So, oh man, and I had it right on the tip of, oh yes. So you had said it earlier, and it's also another, you know, it's something people speak about a lot nowadays as well, a safe space, right?
Yes.
How do you create that? Because I think that's what also, I mean, it came down to in a big way in terms of you yesterday. It was, a safe space has been created for you to be able to express some emotion around the situation, whether or not it be anger or whatever, without anybody going, oh, okay, cool, now you angry as well, so now we're shutting down even more. How do you create a safe space?
Well, you have to be able to give people the space to express how they feel, but also not take it on, because their emotions are theirs. You don't have to take on their emotion. And one of the problems is if somebody comes in and says, you made me feel like this, blah, 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 and what have you, and you said this and you said that, and people immediately go to defend.
Yes.
Well, that's not my fault that you're incapable of doing what you said.
What a safe space.
That is not creating a safe space. Creating a safe space is actually addressing the issue, not all the fluff around it. So and this often what happens is people are not aware of what it is that's creating the emotion.
Okay.
So, for example, if we use yesterday, we had one particular person was concerned about throwing somebody else under the bus. They didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And instead of confronting and saying, I don't think your numbers are correct, they went, how did you get that number? And then they no, they didn't say, how did you, they said, oh, that number seems a bit high. And then there was these little kind of digs, like, oh, my numbers my numbers in the red. It shouldn't be.
So
there were these little digs, and I was present to the fact that there were these little sort of kind of digs happening, and so I was just like, okay, well, tell me the numbers. And so what I did is I took away all the fluff, and I went to what is the issue, because the issue is that person didn't think the numbers were right, but they didn't have the courage to ask, because on past experience, they have been asking the numbers to get that person into trouble so they don't get into trouble.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, cool. Well, if you're not going to ask about the numbers, then I'm going to ask. So, which I did, only to find that, yes, the numbers had been added incorrectly, and it was, all the numbers were there, they just had been added incorrectly, which gave a wrong reflection.
Yes.
And, you know, once the numbers were, and then it was like, okay, but you got upset when I asked the numbers. No, I didn't get upset when you asked the numbers. Okay, so what happened? Nothing. Okay, so what I'm understanding, and this is where creating a safe space is so important, because I then said, okay, cool. I did ask the question around getting upset around the numbers. Okay, so if you didn't get upset around the numbers, what was the upset about? And it is creating that space of, okay, so the issue is the numbers weren't added correctly. Okay, how do we fix that moving forward? So, okay, cool. We need to separate those numbers so that we're reporting on A, B, and C, not just
Everything together.
it all together. And, okay, cool. So how do we fix that so that this doesn't happen next time? And it's just understanding that for me, the issue is that the numbers are not being reported correctly because they have all been added together. It's not a case of the numbers haven't been reported correctly because they're being fudged to look good. There is an issue in how the flow of reporting. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, let's look at what the problem is and let's fix that. Okay, if we do that, that's going to allow you to feel better because you're not going to get upset every time. And then we go back to, okay, so now tell me what's actually happening. Now we've solved the issue. The issue is the numbers are not being reported correctly. How do we then deal with you? What was actually happening? Oh, well, previously I've thrown that person under the bus, and I've told them, I've tittle-tattled on them. I say tittle-tattled because that's what happens in workplaces.
Oh, yeah. I want to make myself look good.
I'm going to look good, so I'm going to make you look bad.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to make them look bad.
Yep.
Because previously I hadn't done my numbers and they hadn't done theirs, so I used to point fingers at them. I didn't want to do that. And so the realization for that person was, oh, it's me that's the issue, because now I didn't want to make that person feel bad.
Yes.
Because that's what I've done in the past. And I was like, well, this is great. This is a good problem to have. And suddenly everyone's like, what? What do you mean? And I'm like, well, we haven't had this problem before. We haven't had a situation where everyone is doing what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Therefore, we now are seeing what the actual issue is.
Yeah.
Whereas previously, we weren't seeing those issues because we were so busy pointing fingers at everybody else. So when you go to the issue, you fix the issue, then you can deal with the emotion. But most people are getting stuck in, well, you shouldn't be upset.
Yes.
It's just a number.
Yeah.
It's just a mistake. Like, I just added the numbers up incorrectly. What's your problem?
Come on, get over it.
Be
professional.
Yeah. And it's understanding that emotions are not something we can control because we don't know what experience other people have had.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to come up either.
And we don't know what things are going to make us feel certain ways and also, like, you'll see people in meeting places will start laughing. And they'll start laughing. Why? Because they're covering up their emotion. They don't want people to know that they're irritated, annoyed, frustrated, whatever it is. So they'll laugh or joke or tell jokes. That's another way to deflect. Instead of throwing you under the bus, I'll just tell a joke.
Yeah. So we can move on from this uncomfortable situation that we're currently in.
You got it. And this is what's happening in workplaces, is that people are not confronting the issue.
Yeah.
They're going direct to the emotion, the fluffy stuff, which creates more fluffy stuff. And so then people go, well, I don't want to show my emotion at work because last time I showed my emotion, you made a big thing of it. And I don't want, like, or, you know, for some people, they enjoy the attention. So if I cry and do it, oh, you just make me feel so bad. Oh. They get attention. So everyone, oh, shame.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You
Don't
know
worry.
that they're emotional people. They're sensitive.
And all these things, and yet all those emotions are just smoke screens because I don't know how to tell you what the issue is.
Yeah.
And
Piss me off.
But it's so when you're creating safe spaces, you've got to look and go, okay, so tell me what happened. Like where is the issue? The issue is not the deal between us.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is that when we're reporting, you've been told to report one way, and I expected or assumed that it would come another way, and now I'm irritated because it's not the way I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I can't express that because I don't actually know that that's what's happening. I'm irritated and I'm going, I don't understand. He's done his numbers. He's done everything he was supposed to. I don't understand why I'm irritated.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we suppress the irritation, and then it creates resentment. And then I'm like, every time I see Sule, he just irritates me. And I don't understand why. So I'm going to avoid Sule because I don't want to create conflict because I don't understand what's happening. Instead of going, okay, Sule, when you do the numbers, it irritates me. I don't understand why. And actually addressing it and going, it's my issue that is actually coming up. I'm getting irritated.
Yeah.
But it's not you that's irritating me. It's because the numbers are not the way I expected. But because I get sort of irritated when I see the numbers, I assume that it is you that is irritating me. And it's actually not. It's the numbers. And the moment we can go to, this is the deal, we can create a safe space because, oh, that's actually what's happening.
I was just thinking, you know, we've come a long way, you and I. Because you said something so important. I used to do my best to avoid you because I was like, Nicole's going to upset me so much because she's going to tell me about something I didn't do or what and eventually, I mean, as we've grown and time as I've grown, time has passed.
You have grown, own it.
But as I've grown, I've realized more. It's actually around the fact that, yeah, I'm actually more upset with myself that I didn't do the thing than you being upset about it. It's not about you. It's actually all about me and me going. And I remember it was one of the UGEs that we did, and I was doing what's these things? The tablecloth. And I remember somebody on the team had said to me, why don't you just leave the tablecloths and Nicole will come and do it right? And I said, you see, that's the problem. Everybody's focused on doing it right. How about we just do it? And then if it's wrong, she'll teach me how to do it. And that was a mad turning point for me because I wasn't focused on it being wrong. Yes, you came and you said, this could have been better. It was so key because you could have actually said, this is wrong, but you didn't. You said, this could have been done better. So I said, how could I have done it better? And you said, oh, do you know about the pins? And I was like, there's pins? What are you talking about? And that just created, I mean, and I'm like, in terms of, you're talking about safe spaces, but the space was safe enough for me to actually learn. And ever since then, I'm okay with doing the tablecloths because I remember a lot of people on the team did not want to do tablecloths because they were like, no, Nicole's going to just tell us it's wrong.
And it's fascinating because it was the biggest shift wasn't me.
No.
The shift was you.
Yeah. And
the shift was, I'm going to learn how to do them as opposed to if we do them, they'll be wrong. So let's just leave them.
Which is just going to piss her off more because
like,
this
how come you haven't
guys?
Done this? Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And, you know, if we go back to Blair Singer's rooms, I always remember Blair you could always tell how tidy a room is by the tablecloths.
Okay.
And you can always tell the people on your team by the tablecloths.
True. Very true.
And if you look back, the people on our team are now no longer on our team.
Yeah, because the tablecloths. We're a crazy organization.
But it's just because you can see how people, like, are they willing to learn? Are they not willing to learn?
Yeah.
Are they willing to try? Are they not willing to try? Just from how to make a tablecloth straight.
Yeah, and I think, are you willing to also own it, or are you going to put it on somebody else? Right? I don't think at any point in time that I ever hear anybody actually say, Nicole, how do I do this the way that you want me to do it? Or how do I do it the best way that serves the room? Because I think that's what it started to become, right? It became what Nicole wants. Nicole wants it like this. And it was like, yeah, but what if Nicole's never here and she never sees it? How do we as a business actually put tablecloth? And I know, guys, this sounds like a ridiculous example, but it's probably the most important thing that you will, like, if you see it, if you're ever in our rooms and you get the opportunity, pay attention to those things.
And it's just understanding that it wasn't about me. And people made it about me. But, I mean, I remember Blair, the very first time that Blair Singer came to South Africa and he did an event. And it was, 11 o'clock at night. And I went home to fetch a steamer and I steamed the tablecloths in that room at 11 o'clock at night because Blair was so pedantic about the tablecloths. And I remember standing there steaming these tablecloths on the table so that they weren't wrinkled or creased or what have you. And it was something that I learned from Blair, how important it is to set the room up so that the tablecloths are not creased and they are straight.
Yeah.
And, people kind of go, what do you mean? And so when your tablecloth is on the table, if it is straight, people aren't going, and not everybody, but certain people aren't going to get distracted because the tablecloth is skew. So what happens is the tablecloth skew and somebody goes, oh, that reminds me of my mother. And this is all happening on a subconscious level. I would have been in so much trouble if my mother had, if my mother saw that tablecloth. And people's brains go to the skew tablecloth.
Stupid brain.
Because of the emotional connection, and then they cannot learn.
Yeah.
Because they're focused on the tablecloth being skew, rather than if the tablecloth's straight, you just take it out of the equation. It doesn't trigger anything for them. It doesn't do anything. It's like if the projector is skew on the screen or the screen is not straight, there are certain people that will focus on the fact that the screen is not straight and they will be wanting to get up and straighten the screen and they cannot learn.
It's funny that you bring that up. Last UGE, that exact thing happened. And there was, unfortunately, she was sitting in front of the projector. And for like 15 minutes, she was just staring at it. I couldn't get to it because I was busy with something, but I could just Barry's over here teaching. She's looking this way. There's nothing, it was just our logo on the screen. She's just staring at it. And eventually when I got to it, I went and I asked her, I was like, are you okay? And she's like, this thing is skewed. I can't pay attention because I was like, I'm sorry for that. And I said, is that better? And she said, yes. And she went straight back into paying attention. And I remember you had told me about the whole, the tablecloth thing. And I was like, oh, come on, man, really? Like, people need to grow up. Like, what do? You're distracted by a tablecloth. Come on. You're not really here to learn. But exactly like you just brought up, it's emotions from somewhere else that are putting them in that space to go, oh yeah, my mother would have hated this thing being skewed right now. And that's such a crazy thing about emotions.
And it is because we don't have any control over it. And so if we go back to the workplace, well, I'll go back to the room. When we set up a room, if the tablecloth's straight, the projector's straight, everybody has the same name tag, because that's the other thing that happens. If you spell somebody's name wrong and then you handwrite their name correctly, other people are going, how come their name tag's not printed? How come it's written?
What happened to their name?
Why? How? Or you'll get somebody that's like, how come they singled out? How come they different? And we don't even realize that people are spending all their time and energy focused on that so it doesn't create a safe space.
Yeah.
So it is in our rooms, our goal is to create a safe space for people to learn and grow. So it means not having things skew.
Yeah.
It means and going back to what you were saying is everybody became so focused on me, because I would come in and say, that's not straight, that's not right, this has been done incorrectly, that they missed the point of, this is not about Nicole, this is about people learning in the room.
Yeah.
And so when you go back to your workplace, it's, are you focusing on the right things? And most employees are focused on the wrong things. They're focusing on, Sule doesn't put the tablecloth on straight, and Sule's not prepared to learn, and Sule this, and Sule that, and blah, blah, blah. Instead of, that's just Sule's personality. Like, he's not going to get that right. Give it to somebody else to do, I don't
know why people took so long to realize that. But then when I wanted to learn about it, those people were gone. So it didn't actually matter. This one was also a good one for me. I know we've touched on it a bit, but I want to just talk you through the flow. And it says 1 in 3 employees say they suppress their emotions daily at work. And this is from the Harvard Business Review, guys. I'm not making up stats, just so everybody's very clear. I don't just make up stats.
So
sometimes I do.
1 in 3 suppress their emotions
daily. Yeah.
And which means they're just ineffective at work, because they're so busy suppressing emotions, they can't be productive, they can't learn, they can't.
Well, I mean, like you had said, you actually touched on it a bit. It goes to the flow goes suppression, resentment, withdrawal, performance drop, conflict.
So, yeah, I mean, we suppress our emotions, we get resentful. Sule makes me pissed off. I don't want to have anything to do with Sule. Now, oh, crumbs, if I go to that event, I have to see Sule. I'm not going to do that. I'll just pretend I'm sick so that I don't have to go to the event. And then what happens? Sule comes and attacks me and creates conflict, because you're supposed to be supporting me. What happened? And
Yeah, I like that.
And that's the flow, is that, and most people don't even realize those things, because it's happening on a subconscious level, or they get sick. It's not a conscious thing to get sick like that. I don't make a decision that I'm going to be sick, but it happens because I'm so busy trying to avoid Sule that, I need to avoid him, so I'll break my foot so that I can avoid him.
Do whatever needs to be done.
Crash my car so I don't have to go to work, or and it's crazy, but these things happen because our subconscious is super strong. We don't even realize it, because those emotions are, kicking in, and we don't even, like, most people don't even realize they're trying to avoid somebody.
No, you don't.
Until that person goes, "Are you avoiding me?" You're like, "No, I wasn't." And then if you're truly honest, oh shit, yeah, I was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be honest with you. And then this one, which is, it touches on another one of your favorites. So it's only 21% of employees worldwide feel connected to their work or their team. That means 79% are showing up physically, but not emotionally.
Yep, their bodies are there, but their brains are not. And
sounds like Parliament.
But that's it exactly. I mean, we had the G20. I mean, surely the government's thinking it's more important to keep your people happy.
You would think so.
Than some random stranger that's coming to the country that you want to impress. Like, if your people, like, if we, for example, keep America happy, they're going to give us funding. But you know what? If you keep your people happy,
They're going to be productive.
they're going to be productive. They're going to pay their taxes, and you're not going to need funding.
Oh my, guys, we just solved. You see what we just solved? Because you guys don't use your brains. That's all right. It's very simple, actually.
And it is. It's just understanding that we go the easy route. And it's just because it's a lot easier just to ask for money than it is to clean up the streets and get the people happy.
I mean, it creates a safe space for your people. What Barry says, what creating a safe space? Oh man, how did I forget this? The job of a government.
Yeah.
To create a safe space for all
businesses
the people
to thrive.
Yes, and you're not. If you created that, we'd be good. You wouldn't need funding.
Correct, but it's understanding that employees are coming to work and they're not connected to what they're doing, so their productivity goes down. So it's this catch-22, because why would I be connected to you? Why would I want to have anything to do with you, invite you to the Christmas, I don't know, function at year end? Why would I want, because you're not productive, so why would I want you to come? So I'm not going to connect with you.
Yes.
And then you're going to go, well, why would I want to connect to my boss? They're not going to invite me to the Christmas function, or they're not going to include me in the braai that they're having with, watching the rugby, just because I don't talk rugby. But you know what? Actually, like a undercover rugby supporter.
Yeah, massive fan.
Massive fan. But I don't want them to know, because I might actually get invited to the braai. And
now it's awkward.
Wouldn't want that, hey? And unknowingly, all these thoughts are going through our head. We're not even aware of them. And it makes us behave in weird and wonderful ways. And it actually creates this catch-22, because I'm not productive, so I'm not included. But I'm not included, so I'm not productive. And so the cycle continues. And yeah, it is. It's quite, I say sad, because most people don't want that.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. I mean, I think that if we're honest and we kind of look at it from there was another stat that I had seen, which is actually really important, which I'm probably not going to find right now. Give me a second. The emotionally drained one. I don't want to touch on that, because I feel like that is such a big one. Like, being emotionally drained.
Well, we see it this time of year. People are, can't wait for the year end. It's such a rough year.
It's like, what did you do? I can't remember. It was such a rough year. I'm like, you're telling me for 12 months was tough. 12 whole months were rough for you. That's not good.
And it's this catch-22, because I'm supposed to be tired. It's the year end. And so it becomes this catch-22 of people think they are supposed to be emotionally drained, because that's what society tells us.
Yep.
Because you should be, because you've worked hard for 12 months. But really, if you actually looked at, did you work hard for 12 months?
For all 12 months.
Or did you have a holiday at Easter, and did you have this, and did you have that? And just because it's exam time, I'm so stressed. And I question, why are you stressed? You're not even writing your exams. What's the problem? If you're stressed, the pressure you're putting on your children,
your emotions are on them.
Correct.
Yeah.
And not to say, and that's a generalization, because not everybody's like that. But it's just understanding that a lot of people are picking up or choosing the emotions of people around them and what they are supposed to feel, rather than actually acknowledging, you know what, I'm really fired up at this time of year, and I'm actually really excited, because I can go into December and, we're not going to go away, and I've got all this energy, and I'm going to drive it into work, and I'm going to do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. And if you actually acknowledge that, most people, their energy levels significantly go up, and they're productive.
I feel like for me, this is like one of the first years where I'm pretty bummed that we're going to have to close. I mean, I just got all this new podcast equipment.
Oh, don't worry, we don't have to close. We can stay open.
Awesome sauce. That's what I like to hear.
You.
Emotions are going to go up in this team when you announce that on Monday.
So sorry, you have to work between Christmas and New Year.
Because Suli wants to record podcasts. Like I don't cause enough trouble on the team. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
And that is such a great statement, like I don't cause enough trouble on this team. Because that is emotion coming up.
Yep.
That's sort of suppressed emotion going, shit, I don't want to say anything because I cause trouble on this team.
Oh, yes. I mean, I've had to come to you to get guidance on how to approach situations because I don't want to cause trouble on the team.
And it's a flippant little throwaway comment, but it's understand the underlying emotion behind that is quite significant.
I wish that was planned. I'm so unintentional. I did not think you were going to pick up on that. This is why this podcast is awesome, guys. That's why you have to subscribe.
But it is. It's just understanding those flippant little throwaway comments. They're not flippant throwaway comments. There's generally something behind it. And that's what makes, for me, processing so great is because you can see and spot those things if you know what you're looking for, and then you know how to help people. Because it's like, oh, really? When did you cause trouble on the team? Oh, okay. And you can then start to unpack it and go, oh, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, and I don't think you can do that as a leader, manager, anybody in position if you're not aware of yourself.
But also if you're not creating a space where you can have those conversations.
Yeah.
Because it's to have that conversation without judgment. Because I have done that too. I have caused lots of trouble on the team. But guess what? I'm going to cause more.
As a threat. You guys heard it.
Because I am in a position of leadership.
Yeah.
If I wasn't causing issues and I wasn't getting people riled up, we wouldn't be growing.
No, you're not doing your job.
So it's understanding that, yes, I'm going to cause upsets, I'm going to cause issues, but are they good or bad?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going, no, the issues we're having are good. It feels bad, but they are productive and they're going to move us forward.
Would you say that they feel bad because it's not necessarily something that you've experienced in the workplace?
Yeah, so a lot of times it's because I haven't experienced it, I don't know how to deal with it.
Got it.
Or it'll be, so I use the example, we had an event a few weeks ago, and because the event was so successful, it created new issues.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is I get irritated because now I'm sitting up at 11 o'clock at night doing stuff for the event, and how could people not think of this, and blah, 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 blah. But if I'm truly honest, people couldn't think of it because it's never happened before, because
True.
we haven't had, that many people arrive at once, or that kind of, we haven't had so many people book at last minute or what have you. And it's like, great, well, it's a good problem to have. Yes, I can get irritated and annoyed, but now what is the issue? The issue is that, maybe somebody didn't understand the process, so which left, we ran out of time because that person didn't understand the process, so they just kept doing what they were doing, and they didn't realize that, you need to do name tags, you need to do workbooks, you need to do water bottles, you need to do all these things. And if people only book at 7 o'clock on Wednesday nights and the event's on Thursday,
you can't do that.
You
Some
can't
of it
do
can't
that.
Be done, yeah.
And it's just, well, that's a great problem to have, because now we've got so many people, but it's like, okay, cool, I can get annoyed because I have to do the work at 11 o'clock at night. But if I'm truly honest, it's a good problem to have too many people in a room.
Yeah.
Because it means there's money coming in. Okay, cool. So how do we fix that moving forward? Okay, we need to have a cutoff time for booking for events or something like that. There's ways to fix it so that it doesn't happen again. But most people get lost in the
emotion.
You shouldn't have put so many people in the room, blah, 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 blah. And then you go, oh, I'm not going to put people in the room next time.
Yeah. You're not you're dealing with the wrong thing, and then now you send a person left, and
Yep.
it's nobody's intention, and everybody loses now.
Correct.
Whew, that was an emotional episode. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening wherever you are. Don't forget that every episode going forward we'll have two versions. We'll have the audio version, which will come out on a Tuesday, and then we will have the video version, which will come out on Wednesday. For those of you who like to listen, for those of you who like to watch, everybody gets a little bit of something. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. It's really good to see the subscriber count picking up on all platforms. I'm really, really excited about that. Really enjoying you guys watching and commenting. Yes, hopefully at the end of the year, I'll deal with comments.
Oh, cool. We've got comments to deal with.
We got comments to deal with.
Yay.
So we'll do an episode where we deal with some comments. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening wherever you are around the world. We appreciate you very much. And we'll see you guys next week on the Uncovering Greatness podcast. Be awesome.
Bye.